Okay, good morning, Hilltop. Are you ready to sing and be energized? We are doing a Ricky Byers song called Holy, Holy Way. And it's a call and response, so I'm going to call, and Cahill and you will respond, and it's really easy. I'm sure you've done this song before. We've done this song before. 3, 4. So stand up, be energized if you like, because you'll want to sing and dance. Here we go. Well, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love is all around me.
Let me know that love is all around me.
Oh, let me know that love is all around me.
Let me know that love is all around me.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Now you sing.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing.
Let me share the good that's overflowing.
And let me care for those around the world.
Let me care for those around the world.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Beautiful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good morning. What a great way to start the morning. Good to have you all here today. Thank you for being here, and I'm so happy I'm back. I missed you all last week. I was up in Seattle. It was a good place to be. Yeah, it was really, really fun. So anyway, I'm glad that we're all here, and then I'm glad you guys are all here today. If it's your first time, we're just thrilled that you're here. If you've been coming, I'm even more thrilled about that too. So, no, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, that didn't sound right at all. Yeah. So anyway, just don't pay attention to what I say. Just hopefully my heart will speak. I'm just going to bury myself. Good morning to the WeberNet world. Hello to you out there in the virtual land. So happy you are joining us. I know that we have people in Colorado and in Oregon and in San Diego that are watching us today. So good morning to you. I know we've had some internet issues. I'm speaking to the internet people. That we've had some internet issues. We think we figured it out, but if something happens, send a message and we'll just keep working on that. Steve is there at the keyboard there, not the keyboard, he's at the other board. The motherboard, the mothership. Yeah, I have a lot on my mind. So we'll get started, and it's good to have Andrea here with us, and Cahill and Deline, and always Lee here. So we're good on all that. So we have some announcements. Oh, by the way, I heard your gig was really fun last Friday night.
Super fun. It was lovely to have the Hilltop family out there supporting Jim and I out there at the party. We had a great time.
Good. Sorry I didn't make it. Yep. I was with the. I don't know if I'm going to make it through service today. I'm glad I have notes. So let's see announcements. What's coming down the line here? We're doing a Sunday celebration right now. And are there more slides? Steve, help me out, buddy. Next Sunday is a board meeting. I do know that. So if you'd like to stay after service, we have a board meeting. It's a way to get knowing what's going on with the thing about spiritual practices. Very good. That's starting to happen. I don't think it's going to happen this Wednesday. There is a sign-up sheet out there, but it's been delayed. So let me just truth and understanding. Go back. I just on Tuesday when I got back from Seattle, I just moved my stepfather into hospice. So I have a lot of moving parts right now. So, and I'm a little preoccupied. So the class probably is going to get delayed. It's not going to start on the 4th. We'll keep you posted as to when it is going to start. So that's going to happen. New Thought in the World conversation. That was so much fun last Thursday. We're going to do it again on June 22nd. Yeah, it was really a lot of fun. In fact, my talk is going to be a little bit based on that conversation that we had. So that will happen on June 27th after service, and on July 22nd to 27th, it's just after service, have a little something to eat, we'll get together, and it's kind of a organic, open, we'll see where the conversation leads us. There's a board meeting, we talked about that. And there's youth and family going on even as we speak. They're down in the teen room, so that's happening. Jim Jones has his well-being in the Dow on Sundays at 9 a.m. before service. And Open Mind Gift Shop is open. And we have good things in there. We actually really do have good things in there. It's a really cool place. If you haven't been in there, it's worth checking out. So there's that prayer ministry. Probably the most important thing we do is we pray. So if your heart is touched in any way, please do not leave without the benefit of prayer. You can see one of our practitioners. Paul's here. Andrea's here today. No other practitioners here today? Nope. Kurt's in the kitchen. Okay, so we got 3 practitioners here. So we got practitioners there. You can fill out a prayer request in the narthex, and the practitioners get together every Friday morning and we pray. So we can do that for you. Or you can make an appointment with one of us, and then also about 5 or 10 minutes after service, Andrea will lead a prayer circle in the Emerson room. Or maybe Paul. Or maybe both. Or maybe not. Okay, so let's see. That's it, except I have a question for you guys. So the question is this. How are you creating space or a container for more aliveness in your life? How are you creating a space or a container for more aliveness in your life? So, you want to give that a try?
I do. This has been really relevant to my trajectory, especially in my artistry, but in life in general. In my art, every time I play now, to play with more passion, more presence, more being, I go back to that stoic greeting, remember your death, before I play a set. I think about the opposite of aliveness is death, and that gives me context, relativity to being so present in the moment that I feel optimally alive. And that process takes grieving. And so when I think of death before I play a set, I know that I've had shoulder problems, I've had arm problems from playing guitar too much, and it's deteriorating. And I go, one day I won't be able to do this. And I breathe into that, and then I sing the songs, and it comes out way more beautiful, way more present, way more alive. I've been able to transition that into my general life as well. So breathing through that notion that maybe this is it, and this is the beautiful thing you get to experience.
Memento mori. Okay, very good. Thank you. How about you, Andrea?
The container I believe that I am creating is beauty. I just am devoted and inspired creating beauty everywhere in my home and here. So beauty is my my container to my aliveness.
You guys want to give it a try? Or not?
Yes.
Oh.
I have kind of a perpetual question that goes like this. What wants to happen or emerge here in any situation? And the answer always is, like what Lee said, more life, more energy, more presence. So that's been kind of a guiding question in my life lately, to create a more abundant life.
More abundant life.
Yeah.
Right on. Good. How about anybody out here? Any takers? Gary in the back there, and Sherry in the back as well. Yeah, Gary and Sherry.
I would say that to make room for in the container, you got to let go of the old to make room for the new.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
letting
amen.
go. Because if you don't, you're stuck.
Yeah. All right. Sherry, over there.
I've always been comfortable being quietly alone, so I've been trying to spend more time with people and meet new friends and find out what stimulates them and makes them happy in life. And it's feeding my soul and adding more joy to my days.
Beautiful. All right. Anyone else? How are you creating space for more aliveness in your life? Dan, did you have your hand up? Yeah, Paul.
I just had this insight this week that really inspired me and resonated so deep in me, and that was, in terms of aliveness, I got that emotions, feeling your emotions, expressing your emotions is the language of aliveness. So when I got that insight, I'm feeling my emotions more and more conscious and connected to my emotions and feeling more alive.
There you go. All right, yeah. Anyone else? Larry.
Okay, so the way I'm doing it is I'm changing the recipe for my life. Some of the ingredients have to go. I have some new ones, and it's all about timing for me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All righty. Anyone else? These are some good things. Mike, you got, all right, Mike. Yeah, Paul's getting his workout done today.
My wife and I, we just adopted a couple dogs from a shelter,
Yeah.
and they're bringing total joy in our lives. It's a lot of work, but it's awesome.
Fabulous. Wonderful. All righty. Anyone else? Anyone? Karen, all right. So if we're going at this route, I would suggest Carol goes after Paul. I mean, goes after Karen or Mike. Yeah.
Being artists and collectors, we have collected so much stuff that I have felt tight and enclosed and unable to breathe, literally. We're now doing major renovation of our house, and we're being asked to clear spaces out so that they can, put in new cabinets and new things. And I'm in the middle of the struggle right now, so I can't say I've achieved it yet, and yet this is part of my process, is that I'm working on creating more and more space so that I can be more alive.
Right on. All right. Okay, now Carol is back there, yes. So Clay, you're next.
Steps. He gets steps. Karen's comment just about makes me giggle because the fire that we had cleared away so much stuff. It was amazing. It was also like a life review because I had to account for every single thing that was in the house because insurance wanted it. But I will tell you, actually going through and seeing where you came from and what you acquired and when and what actually means anything to you, it changes you. And I'm really clear after that that it's for me to be purposeful in this time of my life. To say, why am I here, and do that. And another little side thing that's happened is feeling energy. I can go into a room and I will feel where I'm supposed to be and where I am not supposed to be. And that's a wonderful thing. You can be conscious and intentional. So thank you, Karen, for bringing that up.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, very good, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Let's give everybody a big hand.
I'll add to it.
Oh, Paul is going to speak.
So real quick, I just want to say that I'm exploring the idea of discipline in my life and creating the container through like a structure to be able to hold God in my experience and be able to share it with others.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's good. Saturn and Aries. There you, perfect. Okay, well, let's give everybody a big hand on that one then. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and Andrea, if you will let us lead us into prayer and service.
Thank you. Well, that was wonderful, everybody. Thank you for participating, and you at home. The question is there, so I hope you had a lively conversation as well, and welcome again. My name is Andrea, and I serve as a practitioner here at Hilltop. So grounding us into the moment again and again and again, right? We have an opportunity right here and now coming into the present moment. So as I invoke a blessing, call it forth, it's already here, but we say it aloud, brings power to the spoken word. I invite you to relax, first of all, and just be in your body. So we think and we breathe and we ground through our feet, through the heart, through the ears to hear, through the mind to be open, through the heart. And so we listen. We listen to the spaces between the words. We listen to the spaces between the thoughts. And inspiration and creativity and beauty abound. So this is to that beloved one. For me, the devotion is the beloved. So to the beloved one, to all that is here, to all that is present in my life and your life equally, an expanding place of beingness. To this one that is ever present, always, everywhere, I breathe into the space within the container within my heart and invite that heart container within you and each of us to expand and open and receive and know the grace that I am, beauty that I am, the love that we are. For this is why we gather in sacred community, to be a mirror and a light and a presence, to be seen, to be heard, to be known for who it is that we are, the divine beloved, right here, right now. So in this light and in this consciousness, everything is sacred. This is a blessed moment of sacred song that lifts our heart. This is an inspired moment of truth and telling of the power of the word and the intricate details that come from the mind and through the heart. This is a celebration of life and truth and beauty. So it is here. It is abundant. It is full. And I say yes in deep, deep gratitude for this grace and this love. And I call it forth into being, knowing that it is so, and so it is.
And so it is.
So I am reading a poem today, and it goes like this. This morning I pray for my enemies. And whom do I call my enemy? An enemy must be worthy of engagement. I turn in the direction of the sun and keep walking. It's the heart that asks the question, not my furious mind. The heart is the smaller cousin of the sun. It sees and knows everything. It hears the gnashing even as it hears the blessing. The door of the mind should only open from the heart. An enemy who gets in risks the danger of becoming a friend. Joy Harjo. So we will move into a silent contemplation, a meditation to just speak your heart, breathe into the moment, and guide yourself into this silence. And with a smile on our face, we come back right here and now.
Thank you, Andrea.
Welcome.
So good to be with you all again. Cahill and I are so excited about being here. And I loved everything that everybody said today, by the way. And I think this song is for you. Well, it's for all of us, but it's a song by a friend of ours, Joan Curlin, bless her heart. May she rest in peace. She was an incredible piano player and an incredible writer. This was one of her more serious songs. She actually wrote a lot of funny parodies to famous songs. But this is called You Are a Miracle, and it's about remembering to love ourselves because we can't love anybody else until we love ourselves. So listen to the lyrics. It's just a beautiful song. 2, 3, 4. You are a miracle. You are a miracle, my friend. You are a miracle, and you can make it to the end. You are a gift of God. You are a glowing beam of light. You are a gift of God, and you can make it through the night. Go forth and share your love with all the others. Fear not, for they're your sisters and your brothers. You are a shining star. You are a light for everyone. You are a shining star, and you're as brilliant as the sun. You are a miracle. The world was waiting for your birth. Now let your life stream out and spread it all around the earth. Go forth and share your love with all the others. Fear not, for they're your sisters and your brothers. You are the only one like you. You are a miracle, and there's one thing you must do. Let all your love go free. Have faith and let it be released. Let all your love go free and spread the healing light of peace. Go forth and share your love with all the others. Fear not, for your sisters and your brothers. You are a miracle. I am a miracle. You are a miracle, my friend. Thank you. That's Joan Curlin.
So I'm so happy to be back. What an amazing song. Thank you. Let us just also, first of all, let's just acknowledge Cahill and Delene. It's always a pleasure having you guys here. And just breathe that in. I am a miracle. I am a miracle. That's, I often think about, that we are children of the stars and what that looks like. And, if we just keep watching how this thing goes back, what a miracle that any one of us are here in this moment, in this place, in this time, and together. So I had this opportunity to be at this conference last week. It's a conference that I go to every year, and I just love it. And one of the things that I really appreciate about it is that diversity is a deep intention for this conference. So there are people from all walks of life, and whether it be age, from early 20s into the 80s and 90s, or whether it be genders or gender orientation or nationality or you name it. It's just this 600 plus people from every aspect or perspective of looking at this incredible place that we call Earth and how we share those ideas. And it's really, really kind of refreshing. And so one of the things that really was both inspiring and humbling for me was a couple talks, but particularly one by this one gentleman who I have to say, so one of my great fears in life is I don't want to become Mr. Wilson. Do you all remember Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace? Grumpy old man, get off my yard. And I'm set up for it because I absolutely have Dennis the Menace by another name living next door and has the capacity to pop his little head over the fence. So it's a challenge for me. So what I don't want to become is him, and I just don't want to become that grumpy old man. And I have a tendency to do that. There's a part of me that might just be a bit of a snob. So anyway, there was this guy last year that was there, and he was doing a workshop, and I chose not to go to the workshop for something very petty. He was wearing a sequin dress, and I just kind of thought, well, he can't be serious, right? Well, as it was, I went to a presentation that he gave this year, and he blew me away. He is in his early 30s and one of the most erudite, intelligent, insightful, artistic persons I have ever encountered. And it was inspiring on one level that we are really in good hands with those who are coming after us. And as someone like myself who's in his early 70s, as I look at how I pass the baton, as I sort of pass over what this looks like, in a very respectful way. But so at one level it was very inspiring and it was also very humbling for me, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. But one of the things that he talked about was a person I'd never heard of, a woman by the name of Esther Pearl. Anybody know who she is? Probably everybody on the planet knows who Esther Pearl is, but me. She is a psychotherapist and writes and says, apparently she even has a podcast, which I have to admit I have not listened to. But I did some digging on her, and it was really kind of interesting. One of the things that inspires her, which inspires me because of that, is that her parents were survivors of the death camps. And they also were psychotherapists. And they observed what was happening, and those people that were sort of withering and dying and never really recovering from the horror of what a genocide can be, whether it's taking place in the 40s or in the 2000s, of what happens in a genocide. And they noticed that there were some that flourished and some that did not. And the difference was those that were able to experience aliveness again were the ones that joked and played and had sex and and did the things that they did. They were in the refugee camps after the liberation of the death camps. And there were those that kind of were engaging in life and laughing and joking and doing those things. And the ones that were kind of consumed with it or caught in the memories and the horror of it had such a difficult time. But what she wrote is this. She said, Eros is the antidote to death. It is the vibrant force that animates us, that allows us to feel alive, curious, and connected. It thrives in the space between the known and the unknown, the secure and the adventurous. It is not something that we do. It is a way to become. A way to become erotic, not necessarily in the sexual sense, but in the alive sense, the fecundity of what life is, and to be fully immersed in this vastly messy, unknown, kind of crazed world that we're in, but in that one to be fully alive. And you know, you and I, we have not gone through those kinds of horrors, but we sit with fears, we sit with anxieties, right? I mean, the world seems to be a mess right now. And we try to kind of find meaning in this, and it's so easy to become preoccupied with what is happening. It is so easy to lose a vision or to even lose that sense of aliveness because of just what is there, and how we practice that. And what I want to say is, as we observe this, we have to be kind of careful, I think, because we're on the verge of what I would call, not just me, but others are calling the zombieification of our culture, of our civilization. The zombies, the undead. You're not alive, but you're not dead. You're just kind of going through it. And if you think about it, I mean, you've got like cable news and social media telling us what we should think and what we should be afraid of. You have Google telling us what we should know and what is known and not known and how it is. And we have Amazon telling us what we want and how we want it. And I think, goodness gracious, we're all on assisted living. Right? Because there's all these external things that are telling us who we should be and how we should go about doing it and and there's no room for us to develop that real sense of ownership, of authorship in our own life. And I think in many ways, part of it is just how we look at the model of how we structure our lives in relationship. Years and years ago, I did this work called Tavistock. Tavistock was developed after the Second World War. It's a kind of a group process thing. But the essence of Tavistock, or this group process work that I did, says two things. It says that the first thing that a group does is it creates a leader. And that would be whether, two or more are gathered, or a group, or a community, or even our own self. The first thing that a group does is it creates the leader. And the second thing that a group does is plot the death of the leader. Because we all work through our own issues of authority, right? And what I would suggest is the model itself of leadership, of authority, may be outdated, inadequate, and broken for how we begin to move. And I saw this, of how people were going with it. There's a organizational behaviorist by the name of, I'm never going to pronounce it right, his name is Giorgio Petaglieri. And he says this, he says, our whole leadership model is based on a story and a list. Think about leadership in the world today. Think about leaders that you know. Think about organizations that have leaders, whether it be a church, a government, or whatever the case may be. But it comes down to two things, a story and a list. And the story is about the person who is in the spotlight, and the list are the traits and skills to help them stay there. Right? So, that's a model that is so ingrained in us that I'll bet we can't even imagine another model other than that. It's like statistically, people are more capable of imagining the end of the world than they are of imagining the end of capitalism. Just kind of, it's just kind of like how our mind sits. And then what it does with this, because that kind of model then perpetrates this notion of gaining attention to ourselves, rising to the top, and getting others to do for us what we want them to do. And it just seems to be the way that we were. And maybe that in itself isn't working. And what I would even venture to say, somewhat heretically, is that New Thought itself falls into that kind of model. Because what we want is we want a world that we can control, predict, and is certain. Right? That's the yearning of it. And that sometimes we think that the skills that New Thought will give us is this ability to control, to predict, and to know. But Hartmut Rosa, who's this amazing author, if you've never read him before, well worth reading. Hartmut Rosa, he's a sociologist, German guy. He says this, he says, a controllable, predictable, and certain world is a dead one. A controllable, predictable, and certain world is a dead one. Because, you know, it's what we give away for that level of certainty. As you've heard me say before, you know, Paul Tillich says that the opposite of faith is not doubt. The opposite of faith is certainty, because it's a defense against doubt. But that any healthy faith that we should have within it the capacity to doubt. There's nothing wrong with doubting. It's a very healthy thing to do. It's how we grow. It's how we expand. We all kind of go through these kinds of things. But that maybe there's something else that we can create together and within our family groups or even within ourselves to make them maybe the criteria for how we interact with others. And what I would offer is this, is that we create for ourselves an environment where it is safe enough to stay, free enough to choose, and alive enough to imagine something different. Safe enough to stay, free enough to choose, and alive enough for us to imagine something different. And I think that for myself, well, first of all, let me say this, that I think to myself, you may be thinking, I don't know what you're thinking, but I'll just pretend, but you're thinking, yeah, well, those are just things that go on in our head. Those are just concepts that we have in our head, which gives me permission to use this quote that I've been loving all week from Harry Potter, of course. Dumbledore says, of course it's happening inside your head, Harry. But why on earth should that mean it's not real? Of course it's going on in our head. But why should we doubt for a minute that what is going on in our head is not real? It's real for us. Something that we know is our perception of something is the experience of something. Too often, I think, New Thought is misunderstood when we say, we create our own reality. Well, we really don't create our own reality, and I'll get into that in just a moment of why we don't create our own reality. But what we do create, absolutely, is our own experience of reality. The story we tell ourselves about how things are the way that they are. Greg Braden says it this way. He says, the words we choose to describe ourselves and share our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs actually forms the framework for the unity or separation that we have experienced when we think and solve problems of everyday life. So, of course, we're creating it in our own mind. But why do we think that there's something wrong with that? And again, what I would refer you back to is our whole model of, stories and lists, right? And who there are and people telling us what to believe and not to believe. How many times have you experienced just this week someone telling you to suspend your knowledge of what you know to what you're being told? How often does that happen? It's just a given these days. We don't even take it for granted. But what I want to offer is something that may be the most fundamental, and at least the thing that I can do. The most fundamental thing is maybe start at the very essence of it, which is our whole idea of the Holy One, of the One itself. Call it what you want. God, the divine, the Word, the Holy One, but maybe that one in itself. So a couple weeks ago when we had the after-service discussion, I was really, I was just delighted because one of the things that became aware to me, and something that I want to share more and more through my own personal deconstruction and where I've arrived and where I'm going with it right now, is something called process philosophy, or process theology even as well, but it's process thought, developed originally by a guy by the name of Alfred North Whitehead, a brilliant mathematician. He was a mathematician and a scientist that became a mystic. And other people, and of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, because he was also into process thought, as was Tolkien, but that's another story. But probably the best way to introduce the idea of process thought that I will carry on. I see Sherry's fanning herself. It's really warm in here. Can we turn the air on? Look at that, it just went on. Wow. Emily Dickinson says, I know nothing in the world that has as much power as a word. I know nothing in the world that has as much power as a word. Can you please turn the air on? Look at that, it just happened. But process thought, and you're going to be hearing me a lot because this is something that I just, it has given me a lens of how to find understanding. And maybe the best way to just kind of introduce it today is this. Is imagine a cat. And this cat is going about its normal cat, and you've all observed cats. You don't have to like cats or know cats, but you've seen cats and understand them enough. But imagine a cat that's going through its everyday business of gathering wisdom and what it does. It goes and it sees this and it checks out that, and then it does this and it does that. And at the end of the day, it's the same cat, but a different cat. Right? Because of all the experience that it's collected that day. So what process philosophy would say is, you are that cat. And God is that cat. And everything in creation is that cat. Because everything is gathering information and experiencing things, and there's a sense of novelty and newness always, always, always. You are not the same person you were when you were 3 years old, but you are the same person you were when you were 3 years old, right? But what's different is the experiences that you've had and the encounters that you've had and the relationships, the losses, the gains, the joys, the sorrows, and all those kinds of things. And then we say yes. And that is happening simultaneously to everything in the universe. And there is a force in this universe, an intelligence, a principle, call it what you want, that is experiencing it and growing in it and evolving as it, as you and I are itself. That we live in a universe that is open and relational, that it is dynamic and luring, and that it creates a space that is safe, free, and alive, because the very nature of the universe itself, the very nature of nature itself, is to create that which is safe and free and imaginative or alive. Livingness, eros, to go back to Esther Perel, that sense of eros, that sense of fecundity, of livingness, it is the antidote to death. And in a culture that glorifies death or the undead, by thinking these things and creating these systems that dehumanize and destroy and take advantage of and lose the sense that each and every one of us is interconnected to everything else. And it's not just humans, it's everything is interconnected to everything else. That image of aliveness. And what I would offer is the very nature of that presence is uncontrolling and unrelenting in the power of love. It is uncontrolling and unrelenting. It can only be what it is itself, and the very nature of what it is to create this experience of aliveness, which we would call love. And in order for love to exist, there must be free. And if there is any form of determinism or predeterminism or any of those kinds of things, something that knows and knows before it is known, there's no freedom in that. But what if that presence itself is learning and growing and evolving as we are learning and growing and evolving? And oh, by the way, how it is learning and knowing and growing is through the experiences that we are having in ourselves. There's something remarkable about the poetry of creation stories, and whether they be the Vedic hymns or the Abrahamic hymns, is there something about them that there's an invitation to you and I, we who are the humans, the ones who work with our hands, the wise ones, at least on paper, that we are invited to take part in the co-creation. So, if we are looking at the world and we are wanting it to be different than what it is, then the way that we do that is to change our perception of that, which will change our experience of that, which will ripple into everything else, because when it is known within us, it is known within all creation itself. You with me on this? So let me just invite you then to consider something. This whole idea of freedom, it's a double-edged sword. Because on one level, it creates the freedom from something, but then it creates the freedom for something. So creating the container for the good or the aliveness, sometimes, as some of you said, means eliminating what no longer goes. You know, we've all been in the garden before, and every now and then in the garden you look and you say, we have to do something. We have to prune, we have to cut, we have to repot, we have to do whatever it is, clean our cupboards, whatever the case may be. We need to make space, we need to create freedom from what encumbers us so that we can have the experience of the freedom to create. So let me just give you some little prompts to think of this week. What if there was freedom from shame? What would there be freedom to do? If in your life there was freedom from any form of shame, and remember, shame is something that says, the difference between shame and blame is blame says something is broken and therefore my life is a mess. Where shame says I'm broken and therefore then my life is a mess. So so removing that sense that something is flawed within you. If we were free from that sense of shame, if you were free from that sense of shame, what are you going to be free to create? What are you free to do? Another thought. If you were free from rigidity, what would you be free to create and do? If you were free to feel safe, what would you feel free to do? If you were free from the story that you are broken, what would you be free to create? If you were free to change, what would you create? If you were free to imagine something new, what would that newness be? And just like that cat, these experiences change our perception and therefore our experience. And when our experience is changed, we are changed. And when we are changed, the earth is changed. And when the earth is changed, the solar system is changed. And then the galaxy, and then on and on to the stars. So, let us focus on what makes us safe, what creates us to be free, and an aliveness that offers a new imagination. Thank you. Excuse me, as I move the furniture here.
Tell you how much we love coming here. We love Reverend Guy. He's so inspirational. We play at a lot of different centers, but
Oh, man. With every experience, we become a different person. This is a song about just such a thing, actually, about how somebody had a transformational experience and for the first time felt their eyes were truly open. So we entitled this Wondrous Eyes. You ready?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
2, 3, 4.
Wondrous eyes, wondrous eyes, just open them wide. Wondrous eyes, magnified across the great divide.
It's as if I am seeing life for the first time. It's as if I've been blind, locked up in time. Have I been dreaming, or is this the dream unreeling? Like a lightning bolt through the sky. Wondrous eyes, wondrous eyes,
Just open them wide.
wondrous eyes, magnified
Across the great divide. It's as if I've been walking round with a blindfold. It's as if someone suddenly pulled it all away. Why have I been crying when I could have been high flying like a falcon through the sky?
wondrous eyes, wondrous eyes,
Just open them wide.
wondrous eyes, magnified
Across the great divide.
wondrous eyes, wondrous eyes,
Just open them wide. Yeah,
wondrous eyes,
magnified across the great divide. Wondrous eyes, ooh, oh, Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you for your wondrous voice and the song and the music and for such an inspired talk. How grateful I am to be changed in this moment, to realize that I have just opened up my heart as we have, right? And lifted up our spirit and adding in a concept and a belief and a knowing and a truth, how it's touched you. That, imagine that forever. Right here in this moment, I walk forward, somewhat renewed and perhaps new. So I am so grateful that you are here sharing this with us. Like Rev often said, it just wouldn't be the same without you. So thank you for being here. And as we open up our hearts, as we experience this wondrous song and talk and community and each other, we allow ourselves to give back in the way of monetary goods. So as you are giving today, you might have given online. A lot of people do. You might have cash or a check ready to give it forth. Know that this abundance flow just gives more and more of love to serve the greater good, to give back in the way and the things that hold truly the most important things to us, our hearts, our love, our desire to be free and to serve the greater good. So we give in that realm, we give in that way, and we support the greater good of what is here. So thank you for your gifts, thank you for giving.
And please sing God is my source with us. 1, 2, 3. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need, everything. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Peace, God is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need, everything. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need, everything. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Oh my goodness. You guys, that's a doozy. Thank you. It's fabulous having you here. So first of all, I just pray you guys will forgive me if I leave a little bit earlier today. My friend Kevin Busey, who is the senior minister down at Universal Spirit Center, he had knee surgery this last Friday, and he's doing well, but he asked me to sit in for him, and it's funny. I guess there's a marathon going on in San Diego, and they're running right past their church. So they're doing service at 4 p.m. So I tried it out on you guys. Apparently the talk worked. I'll do it there today too. Yeah. I don't know what their theme is, but I know what mine is. So anyway, I'm going to take off, and then being in San Diego, I'm going to pop in and see my stepfather. So I'm going to leave a little bit earlier today. So thank you for indulging me in that. In the meantime, I'm just so grateful that you guys are all here. Thank you so much. And I want to especially thank the greeters today, who were Karen and Larry. Thank you so much. Always making people feel so welcome and loved. The Popoviches, Mike and Ann, for creating a feast, and Deanna and Kurt are in the kitchen, so do thank them there. Let's see, we have Cahill and Delene, fabulous. You guys are always, and apparently,
Thank you.
going on 2 European tours in the fall, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to Slovakia and Vienna and Prague in July. That's just a family heritage sort of tour. And then we're playing music in England and Scotland in October and November. Actually, just Scotland, but we're going to tour England.
I know, groovy stuff. So we'll see when you get back. And of course, Lee, always, man, my brother, I just love you so much. Always good to have you here. And Paul doing all that Paul does, and Annie that does everything that Annie does, and everybody that makes this thing, and all of you guys that make this thing work, just thank you all. It's a blessing. I'm just so honored and privileged to be here. So with that, anything I need to say? Goodbye. So let us pray. Let us open up ourselves to that presence that has no control, but is always luring us into a sense of livingness. It is not love, but it is lovingness. It is the uncontrolling lovingness of all creation expressing itself through each and everything. And so my prayer, my blessing today is that each and every one of us experience a moment, if not 2, let's make it 3, of amazement, wonder, and surprise. And may that moment bring us to a place of insight, revelation, and reverence. And may the natural outpouring of that is generosity. And so may we be filled with that good that is already within us. May our eyes see, our ears hear, and our lips proclaim the good that is here, that which is safe and free and alive. And so we let it be. And so it is.
And so it is. There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling to make it through another day, you've gotta let it go, let it all go. And this is what I have to say, and I release, and I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God, and no more struggle and no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God, and I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God, and no more struggle and no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. All right, let's do a
Okay, Elaine, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Let's just do a tiny bit of float. Great. All right, thank you. By the way, ladies, I got this top in the shop, so go shopping. Go on. You got this top in the shop.
So good.
Thank you, Lee. We're not going to be here again this year.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're going to be in Europe.